तो पाना चाले भेरी मनोहर जो मिलना तो शुक्रवार जो मिलना बुरी बुरी हाले कारी कर रखो ना बुरे बुरे पानी हेड दबा कर रखो ना 3 जगह रखो ना मनोहर तो बुरे बुरे हाल रखो ना तो मनोहर बाटा बे सरकार और पुलिस और भाई बंधु सारे बस यही मेरी मिनती नहीं सारे का ना जो मनोहर बाटा सही लेन फांसी बस जैसे हम तड़फे रहे और नहीं तैसे दूसरी मामा तड़फे जैसे ही रो रहे उन्हें तैसे दूसरे परिवार मत रोन आ क्या के बेटा कुछ ही पाने के तो कारणों कुते के तो कारणों बीमार भी भोले तो पेठी भी कोई चुकने थे अस्पताल भी कुछ लेने पानी भी कुछ देने इनके बाहर तो बड़ी मुसीबत नहीं जब अब सारे सरकार और देश पे गए ना मेरे मनोहर रे बाप भाई कोई अंकल कोई ताए चाचे तो बस मनोहर रे बदला यही लेन बस उस तो मैं बाबा कुछ नहीं लिया आई तो रोने रही है पर तो अपना सारे कहना एक रिपा नहीं जे बस फांसी चढ़नी चाहिए मनोहर रे खूनी
पिता से भी बात करेंगे क्योंकि माता जी का ये कहना है कि फांसी एक इकलौता जस्टिस है जो कि ये जस्टिस सर्व होगा फैमिली को, क्योंकि ये लगातार डिमांड कर रहे हैं कि उसको एक ही सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए। जिस तरह से मनोहर का कत्ल किया गया, वो इकलौता बेटा था, वो इकलौता परिवार को संभालता था। उसके जाने के बाद परिवार को ऐसा लग रहा है कि उनके सारे रिश्तेदार चले गए, उनकी जो बुढ़ापे की लाठी है वो चली गई, कमाने वाला घर से चला गया। और मनोहर का जिस तरह से कत्ल हुआ 6 जून को, उस तरह से कोई भी आगे इस तरह की घटना ना आए। पिता से भी हम बात करेंगे, उनको जानेंगे। तो फांसी की सजा की डिमांड कर रहे हैं आप, इससे
उसको फांसी होनी चाहिए। जिसने मेरे बेटे का कत्ल किया उसको फांसी। और 7-8 बंदे हैं वो पूरा परिवार शरीफ का, उन्होंने मेरे लड़के का कत्ल किया, उनको फांसी चाहिए, फांसी।
लेकिन इतना बेरहमी से मारने का कारण क्या?
कोई पता नहीं, कोई पता नहीं क्या उनका प्लान था। उनके प्लान का पता नहीं, बेईमानी को प्लान का मुझे कोई पता नहीं है। इतना पता होता ना तो उस रास्ते भी लाता में हमारी अधवारी रहती। 6 महीने जाते ऊपर, 6 महीने नीचे रहते। अब 15-20 दिन मैं था अधवारी में भी, 4 दिन भेजा मैं लड़का, पर आता जाता रहता था। तो सोमवार जो गया शाम जो, तो मंगलवार जो नहीं आया घर मेरे वापस।
आपने पुलिस में कंप्लेंट की थी जब वो वापस नहीं आया, घोड़े चराने गया था?
वो वहाँ पर नेटवर्क नहीं है ना, फोन नहीं चलते ना। मैं सोची तो ऊपर है होना, तब मेरे को पता लगा ये ऊपर नहीं आया वापस। बुधवार को लगा कोई 4-5 बजे में।
आपकी चीज़ को मुझे अपने दर्शकों को ट्रांसलेट करके भी बताना होगा, क्योंकि आप लोग बहुत लोकल भाषा में बात कर रहे हैं। तो इनका ये पिता का ये कहना है कि जब 6 तारीख को मनोहर ऊपर गया था घोड़े चराने के लिए, उसके बाद जब शाम तक वापस नहीं लौटा तो पिता उनको देखने के लिए वहां गए। वहां सिर्फ घोड़े मिले, मनोहर नहीं मिला। ऊपर ना फोन का नेटवर्क होता है जहां पहाड़ पे वो घोड़े चराने जाता है। उसके बाद से इनको ये टेंशन हो गई कि आखिरकार मनोहर गया तो गया कहाँ। आसपास के लोगों से इन्होंने पूछताछ करने की कोशिश की कि मनोहर कहाँ है, लेकिन किसी को कुछ नहीं पता। आगे भी इनसे सुनते हैं। तो उसके बाद फिर आपको कब पता चला कि मनोहर का इतनी बेरहमी से कत्ल कर दिया गया?
मैं उधर गया ना, मैंने बोला मेरा मनोहर कहाँ गया, घोड़े इधर है। बोले मनोहर नहीं आया था, मेरे घोड़े इधर पूरे दिन घोड़े रहे, यहाँ से मनोहर गुम हुआ था। तब मैंने पूछा, फिर मैंने रिपोर्ट की,
पुलिस को रिपोर्ट किया आप?
हाँ जी, वीरवार मैंने पुलिस को रिपोर्ट की। पुलिस आई, वो नहीं मिला। शुक्रवार उसकी डेड बॉडी मिली, शुक्रवार को।
इनका ये कहना है कि इन्होंने बहुत ढूंढा, 2 दिन तक वहीं उसी लोकेशन पे घोड़े मिले, लेकिन मनोहर नहीं मिला। उसके बाद 2 दिन के बाद इन्होंने पुलिस को रिपोर्ट की। पुलिस को रिपोर्ट करने के बाद 9 जून को यानी शुक्रवार को मनोहर की डेड बॉडी मिलती है। तो डेड बॉडी मिलने पर पहचान कैसे हुई? क्योंकि हमने भी देखी वो तस्वीरें, वो दर्दनाक तस्वीरें डेड बॉडी की। तो मनोहर की पहचान कैसे हुई? उसका चेहरा भी खराब था, उसका शरीर भी काटा हुआ था।
दांत दूर पछाड़ देना, मेरे लड़की के दांत देना, मेरे को पता था मेरे लड़के के।
ये भी था एक माँ तेरा कंगन पे औरत है कने होर क्या बात जे बूट मिला थे सर जे पैरा पे औरत है से बूट मिला पर जे उसको पहना रही थी से अलग जे ते सर एक बूट फेंक दी था, एक तेते में लिया ते बड़ पछाण तकन ए पैदा था माते दा कंगन बस ए तो पछाण
मनोहर की पहचान, उसकी बॉडी इतनी बुरे हालत में थी कि उसकी पहचान होना चेहरे से नामुमकिन था। तो परिवार ने उसका जो धागा बांधा हुआ था हाथ पे, उससे पहचान की कि ये मनोहर ही है, ये मनोहर का ही डेड बॉडी है। अभी पुलिस ने, हिमाचल की पुलिस ने काफ़ी लोगों को गिरफ्तार कर लिया है। गिरफ्तार करने के बाद उनकी पूछताछ भी चल रही है। क्या आप इस सारी कार्रवाई से संतुष्ट हैं, सरकार की कार्रवाई से, पुलिस की कार्रवाई से?
हाँ जी, जो आरोपी है ना 7-8 बंदे, उनको फांसी होनी चाहिए ना। उन्होंने मेरे लड़के के साथ बहुत बुरी मारी हालत की है, बहुत बुरी हरकत की है, उनको फांसी।
तो ये सारे परिवार ने ही मनोहर को मिल के मारा है?
वो मिल के था, वो प्लान था, वो प्लान था जिन्होंने बोझे बनाने के लिए टुकड़े टुकड़े करके 7-8 बोझे बनाए उन्होंने, उनकी साजिश से। हाँ जी, बाकी तो था ही नहीं परिवार को।
क्या संदर ही ते नेरे जिया जिया मनोरे दी हालत के जिया कट्टा मनोर क्या क्या संदर थी तेस कौन करे सकना जी ते ने क्या ना ते ना पुलिस जोगते हाले ते कर भी पूछ ले जो होर कौन बंदे ने पूछ ले जिया जिया मेरे मनोरे हालत के थे कोई संदर कैसे ने ते नेरे।
इनका ये कहना है कि मनोहर को परिवार ने मारा है और पूछताछ में आखिरकार सबकी जो कंस्पिरेसी है वो एक्सपोज होनी चाहिए। जी, ओवर टू स्टूडियो।
Thank you very much, Amandeep, for talking to the family members there and getting us a ground report on this big development and big story from the hill town of Chamba in Himachal Pradesh, where tensions continue. Section 144 has been imposed and political fight over it continues. In fact, Amandeep, you had earlier visited the spot of the accused's house that was torched by a mob yesterday. Let's get that report for our viewers.
In Chamba Hindu boy brutal killing case, now the police has been deployed and the security has been beefed up in the area just because the mob had torched the house of the accused Muslim family. And even the administration has imposed a section 144 and nobody is allowed to hold any kind of congregation or gathering. Right now we are reporting from the ground in village Singni where the house has been torched by the mob. And in fact you can see the visuals. The police force has been deployed here and in fact the damaged house is also very much visible, and this was the condition. And even the administration, the entire police is on ground and taking the stock of the situation. Just because the entire matter is turning to be sensitive, now it turned out to be the violence between two communities. And yesterday the people who angry against the murder, the brutal killing, the Manohar Lal boy, Hindu boy that has been chopped into the pieces, and in fact later he was sacked and stuffed in a sack and thrown into the river. And later on 9th of June his body has been recovered. After that the mob, the people nearby the areas are angry. And in fact they started attacking the Bashir Khan. This is the house of Bashir Khan and his family has been taken into the custody. 10 people are in custody, 5 have been arrested and in fact 5 has been detained for the questioning as well. And now you can see the visuals. We are just reporting from the ground and telling you the situation on the ground. The police has been deployed at the different areas. Section 144 has been imposed in the area and even additional SPs has also been deployed, and you can see the visuals. Yesterday the mob has put this entire house on the fire and in fact after that immediately police reached. We are telling, we were being informed by the locals that almost 500 people have gathered here and in fact came here from the different Hindu organizations, and later they are in so much anger they put the entire house on the fire. And in fact the gutted visuals are very much telling that how the people were angry. The Bashir Khan is a prime accused of this entire murder case. And he was staying here with his family, and now Bashir Khan is in the custody of police and his family has also been detained for this killing. Manohar Lal was in relation with the sister of Bashir Khan, due to which he was brutally murdered and chopped into the pieces, and body has been thrown into the river after stuffed into a sack. So after that the situation in Himachal Pradesh, Chamba, has turned out to be the sensitive, and in fact this is the village Singni where the entire incident has been reported. This is the native village of accused Bashir Khan, which has now the house has been turned into the ashes, and even the Bashir Khan is in the custody. The police is deployed, shops shops has been closed, congregations are not being allowed, police is visible at every road and every spot, and in fact the situation is completely sensitive in Himachal Pradesh so far. With video journalist Kishan Kumar, this is Amandeep Dixit for Republic Media Network.
Now, wrestlers Bajrang Punia, Sakshi Malik and Vinesh Phogat are expected to meet this evening in Sonipat to strategize their next plan of action. This comes after the charge sheet was filed against WFI President Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh yesterday in Delhi court. Here's a report.
A day after Delhi police officials filed their charge sheet in the Rouse Avenue court and the closure report in the POCSO Act in the Patiala House court, wrestlers Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Phogat and Bajrang Punia to meet in Sonipat area of Haryana. According to Sakshi Malik, she clearly stated that till the time justice is not sought, their protest will not be over. All eyes are on the charge sheet. They have yet not received the charge sheet from their lawyers, which Delhi police official has submitted in the Rouse Avenue court. According to Sakshi Malik, she was also seen stating that the wrestlers are not satisfied with the charges which are framed up by the Delhi police officials in the charge sheet. They clearly said that the court will take the final order, but no one is to be relied if the FIRs are being taken back. She also stated that the next plan of action for the protest will be decided by the wrestlers after a meeting in Sonipat today, in which Bajrang Punia, Vinesh Phogat and Sakshi Malik will be participating, and later the plan of action will also be shared with the Khas in the Haryana.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Have held a protest march to Secretariat in Thiruvananthapuram against universities in the state of Kerala, favouring left organisations. These are the pictures that we are getting to you of protests that broke out outside the Secretariat in Thiruvananthapuram, where police had to resort to lathi charge and water cannons were also used against the protesters, the ABVP protesters who were protesting outside the Secretariat. We have Ashwin joining us on the phone line to give us more details about the protests. Ashwin, over to you.
Sanika, there has been multiple instances of corruption that has come out from these universities. Now, number one of Vidya, who has even forged document, and she has not been arrested for over 11 days now. Another is PM Arsu, another SFI leader who has passed an exam without even writing it. There is also similar other cases that has come to light, where there has been SFI leaders impersonating someone in an election. And in all these three cases have come to light, which is the reason why today ABVP has taken out these protests, stating that the universities in Kerala are under the influence of the CPM and are favouring the CPM leaders and the left leaders in the state. Sanika.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for joining us with those updates. Moving on to another big story coming in from the state of Karnataka. Now, Kalaburgi SP Isha Pant broke down while addressing the media over the death of a constable. Now, this constable was crushed to death by a tractor allegedly belonging to a sand mafia. Now, emotional Isha Pant, the SP of Kalaburgi, stopped addressing the media and bowed down her head to hide her tears. We have that entire sequence with us, which we will be playing out. And while she was, this in fact took place while she was briefing the media on the murder that took place in Kalaburgi. Let's listen in.
Last night, that is on 15th June, our head constable Shri Mysore Chavan, along with police constable Shri Pramod, both of them were on patrolling duty. They were sent on this patrolling and picketing duty by the PSI because there were complaints from Hullur village that some illegal mining is happening. So they were there since last couple of days. They were doing patrolling and picketing and all to monitor and to control any such illegal mining activity, sand mining activity. So yesterday, last night, they saw one tractor which was moving with sand, and they tried to chase. It happened at around 10:45 at night. So they were trying to chase that, and the tractor went in high speed, and then because of the speed and all, he tried to head constable and constable, they tried to catch that person, and in this the tractor driver he ran over the said head constable. The CPC fell aside and he was also injured, but head constable died on the spot.
Prajwal is joining us live on this big story of the day. Prajwal, what are the details that you're gathering as far as the action that has been taken in connection with this case?
You know, in this particular case, now Sanika, two people have been identified, and one of them have already been taken to custody. He's been identified as Siddhappa, and it is being now stated that he had connections with the sand mafia, and he was the one who was driving the tractor at that point of time, which has mowed down the 51-year-old constable Mysore Chauhan. Apart from which, now there have also been special teams which has been formed by the Kalburgi district police, and they have launched a manhunt for the remaining miscreants as well, because majority of them are absconding too, because usually what happens with these tractors, as the SP was speaking about, they work in an organized manner like a crime syndicate, where there are also escort vehicles which are provided while mining the sand from the banks of the river too. So therefore now the vehicle too has been seized, and additional crackdown has already happened across the entire district on the orders of the superintendent of police, Isha Pant. But while earlier speaking to the media, she just could not hold back her tears, and she broke down, and it was a very heart-wrenching scene at that point of time. But she stated that the police department is strong and they will all be back on their feet, and none of the personnel, none of the police personnel should not be demoralized as well. And even as we are speaking about this, there has been a lot of politics around it, because the BJP has stated since the government, the Congress government has come to power here in Karnataka, there has been increasing problems in respects to law and order, and whereas the Congress on the other side has now gone ahead, the government on the other side has now gone ahead and announced the compensation, and District in Charge Minister Priyank Kharge has stated that he will be personally monitoring the case, and a probe has already been ordered. But the BJP is clearly going ahead and lashing out at the Congress, stating that if police personnel are not safe, then how can the common man be assured of his safety?
In fact, we're getting a response now coming in, Prajwal, from GS Prashant of the BJP. Mr. Prashant, we have these visuals of a constable who was crushed to death by a tractor that allegedly belongs to a sand mafia. Your response on it?
See, firstly, our sympathies with the family of the policeman who has been killed, who was on duty. He was protecting the law and order, and he has been killed. So this mafia would run amok, and probably we don't know whether it's too early to comment, but we have to ensure that justice is delivered to the policeman's family. But one thing is clear, that if policemen are not safe here, how can the citizens be assured? This is the Congress government at its best now, because they know what they're doing, what they generally do. They create fear among people, and whoever goes against them will have to meet this fate. But it's very unfortunate that even public servants and people who are the guardians of law and order are not being spared. And probably the Congress government, though they make statements that they will monitor the probe, let it be on record that they will not take it to a logical conclusion at all. In the past also, whenever these things have happened, Congress has never responded to these calls because they don't empathize and sympathize with this at all. They in fact side with the mafia. Corruption and Congress go hand in hand. So therefore, you will not be surprised if there's a link to the Congress with this mafia also. We cannot rule it out. So investigation will be carried out from all angles, and probably from an independent agency which is not under the control of the state government should probe into it. The state government should not have anything to probe into this, because we are not sure whether they will do a fair and transparent probe at all.
Thank you very much, Mr. G.S. Prashant, for joining us on the phone line on this broadcast and giving us your first response on this brutal murder in Kalaburgi in Karnataka. We're heading into a break right now. After the break, we'll get you more updates from Bengal, where bags full of crude bombs and explosives have been found.
The top-ranked Amity BTech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India who get global exposure at the 5-week study abroad program at Amity's global campuses at no additional tuition fee. To apply, visit amity.edu.
They're going to try and come back once again. Here, sir. Sir, this is the back entry. This is the back entrance of Mr. Jairam. Jairam has been arrested right now. That's me, Jairam, right now. He's been arrested on the screen. That's Mr. Jairam. Do you have to say?
Please. Mr. Charles, what's lies ahead? Mr. Charles, what's lies ahead for you now? Mr. Charles, are you really think France will be safe for you?
Mr. Malia, barrack number 12, jail conditions are ready according to Team India. Is that not fine according to the jail? Consistently been asking you only one question. Mr. Malia, why did you escape in 2015? Why did you walk out? Why did you rush out of India? Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? Just answer one question, sir.
Men, women, they are marching towards the road. Though some clashes are also witnessed here at the Sheikhpura road. See the tear smoke shells being used by the Jammu and Kashmir police. Now we can see also that the protesters are not crossing the line.
These are the images which shows you the reality of what really happened in the city of Bucha. What you see right now on your screens is the reality of this war where thousands and thousands of Ukrainians have lost their lives. We are standing in the premise of a church right in the middle of Bucha. ये जो आप अपने आंखों के सामने देख रहे हैं, ये विश्व के सबसे बड़ा एयरबस हुआ करता था एक टाइम पर, और आज आप जो देख रहे हैं इसका कुछ नहीं बचा. You have to leave from here.
Good afternoon and thank you for tuning in. You're watching Live and Breaking at 1:30. I'm Suesha Sound. We get you all the top stories making news, also ground reports on the aftermath of Cyclone Biparjoy in this edition. First, a quick check of the headlines. A day after violence, Bengal governor visits clash site to get a first-hand report. Bags full of crude bombs and explosives found in Bhangar. Is this not evidence enough for the police? Union Minister's house attacked by insurgents in Imphal. Situation in Manipur continues to remain tense. BHP to stage protests against Congress government decision to repeal law against forced conversions in Karnataka. Cyclone Biparjoy leaves a trail of destruction in coastal Gujarat. NDRF continues clearing operations. Cyclone Biparjoy, which ripped through Kutch and parts of Saurashtra region of Gujarat, has left a trail of destruction. cut across to these pictures of a fire that broke out in Tirupati. This started at a photo frame shop at Tirupati Balaji temple. Details we are receiving first up that no casualties have been reported so far, as fire personnel are trying to douse off that fire. It is a huge cloud of smoke that is visible in the skies as a fire broke out in Tirupati Balaji temple. This started from a photo frame shop in Tirupati, which later spread to the other parts of the building as well. We are yet to get the current status of how the fire has been doused, to what extent, but no casualties have been reported so far. Aneri is with me on the phone line to give us the very latest. Over to you, Aneri.
Well, Suesha, what we are learning right now is that the situation is, however, under control, but also at the same time, we see that this massive fire broke out in Tirupati at a photo frame manufacturing shop there, and which is also spreading across to other buildings in the nearby area, in that particular area, because what we are seeing is that this incident has been reported near Govindraj Sai Swami temple there in Tirupati, and also the fire department officials are trying to douse the fire and bring the situation under control. But also at the same time, authorities say that no casualties have been reported into this incident which has been reported there. And also what we are being told is that the fire is spreading across in the nearby buildings, but the traffic movement has also been stopped in that particular area, and also at the same time huge thick smoke was observed, because this, as you can see in the visuals also, this is a huge fire which has broken out. So, however, the reason behind the fire breakout is not yet known. Officials are still working on to bring the situation to douse the fire completely, and also at the same time the traffic movement there have been stopped by the authorities there, so that no untoward situation takes place. And also at the same time, this the fire had started. The fire broke out at a photo frame manufacturing shop, and then it was spreading to the nearby buildings, is what the officials also have been saying. Right now, also the fire department officials are working on there to make sure that no untoward situation takes place.
Aneri, tell us more to what time the fire broke out, how many devotees were in and around this building at that point, how has it stopped currently in the temple in terms of those offering prayers, and is it heavily guarded at this point? What's the latest you're hearing?
Well, so what we are learning is that because there's a temple just nearby to that particular building where the fire had broken out, and also this is also
see the situation. What do you
I came to this Mahavidyalaya as a chancellor of the universities. On the way, I happened to see some places where unfortunate incidents of violence was there. I could interact with the victims, some of them, and also with the local people. This was a fact-finding, data-gathering period for me. I have made my own inferences from what has happened. I would like to take further action based upon an objective analysis of what I have seen, what I have heard, what I have analyzed, what I have experienced. I can assure the people of Bengal, violence will be the first victim in this election. Violence should die a silent death. Violence will be encountered by silence, in the sense those perpetrators of violence will be silenced in a permanent way under the constitution, under the law of the land. The peace-loving people of Bengal have a right to exercise their franchise, unmindful or unfearful of anybody else. This election should be a resolve by the silent majority of the state and the lovers of democracy to ensure that peaceful elections will become a rule rather than an exception in Bengal. This calls for concerted efforts by all concerned. As governor, I would take the initiative to see that all stakeholders are brought together and a joint effort is made to quell this situation of violence which mars the peace and quiet of this peaceful state. Thank you.
So, any word with the Chief Minister? Any word with the Chief Minister on the law and order situation of this particular area specifically?
The Chief Minister is a constitutional colleague of the governor. What we discussed is not to be revealed outside. Certainly, whatever is expected of governor under the constitution will be done. When I took oath of office, there are two parts to the oath. One is defending the Constitution of India. Second is serving for the well-being of the people of Bengal. I will certainly dedicate myself to the service of the people of Bengal. This will be a test case. No violence will be tolerated. And whoever has resorted to violence will be brought to book. They will be shown their place, that is behind the bars.
Sir, what action will be taken?
Pardon?
Sir, any reports that you're going to send as the governors, the link between the center and the state, any reports that you're going to send to the center?
I can only say there will be action, not an alibi for inaction. Thank you.
All right, so that is the statement coming in from the governor after he inspected the situation on the ground, where he said that he spoke to the victims, gathered data, and is speaking on objective analysis, where he also goes on to say that the perpetrators must be silenced and peaceful polls should be the rule. This after he was in Bhangor in South 24 Parganas district, which has been witnessing sporadic violence between supporters of rival political groups over nomination filing for the state panchayat elections. And the governor also putting out details post that visit. I want to cut across to my colleague Kishule, who has been tracking all the developments on the ground from Republic Bangla. Kishule, the governor releasing a statement where he goes on to say that the perpetrators must be silenced. He has inspected the entire situation. He spoke to the victims, he gathered data, but peaceful polls should be the rule and there should be no violence.
Exactly. That's what the governor said just now after he has taken a stock of the whole situation. We saw that how he went through all those areas where violence was perpetrated yesterday, and all those cars and vehicles burnt, overturned, charred. He saw all that. And he said, this is the time for me to collect the data and then to introspect, and then there will be action. When he was asked about very importantly, when he was asked about the chief minister and what conversation they had or whether they had any, the governor said, well, I'll not talk about the exact conversation, but that she is my constitutional colleague. He said she is my constitutional colleague, and also he said that we have both taken, he indicated that we have both taken oath to safeguard the constitutional norms. Therefore, what happened yesterday was completely out of law. It was unlawful, it was illegal, it was breaking all laws of the Constitution, killing people, violence, hurling bombs and guns and everything. So that's what he indicated, that being the constitutional colleague and taking the oath of safeguarding the Constitution, what happened yesterday was beyond that role, and therefore it is very important that peace be again settled in that particular area, and the polls should be in a peaceful way as well. That's what the governor just now said.
All right, for the moment, Kishule, I want to thank you for speaking to us. Of course, we continue to track the situation very, very closely, most importantly when it comes to seeking accountability from the TMC government over this sporadic violence. With that, we step into a very short commercial break. On the other side, we get you details as Cyclone Biparjoy leaves a trail of destruction in coastal Gujarat. NDRF continues clearing operations. Section 144 has been imposed in Chamba after arson and violence over a murder case.
देशमुख साहब यहाँ आपातकाल लगाए। देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है। 1000 एडिटर मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। ये देखिए मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। देशमुख साहब मेरा खून निकल रहा है, आप देख रहे हैं। देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है। आप पत्रकारों को जेल में डालेंगे, मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। 1000 रिपब्लिक आप ऐसे पकड़ेंगे मुझे। मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है, मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है। ये देखिए
these are the cars carrying Christian Michel. You are going to see more and more cars on your screens right now. And that is Christian Michel. First visuals on your scene. Christian, would you want to speak? Christian, have you turned in a brewer? Christian, would you give facts to India? Christian, will you tell the truth about those names? Christian, will you tell the truth about the family? Christian, and that's the car getting in. Christian Michel, first visuals.
सर एफआईआर में किसी का नाम नहीं है, बर्ताव कर रहे हैं, क्या इसका कोई एक्शन लिया जाएगा?
सर कार्रवाई को लेकर क्या कहना चाहेंगे? भूपेंद्र जी कार्रवाई को लेकर क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Mr. Wazir, why you arrested him, sir?
The Alibag police has arrested him under section 306 and 34
Because it was a case, I believe, that was closed by the police itself.
Yeah, the same police and same court has opened it, sir.
No, I am not. I'm following. I am doing my job. They're trying to stop us from reporting.
These are the images which shows you the reality of what really happened in the city of Bucha. What you see right now on your screens is the reality of this war where thousands and thousands of Ukrainians have lost their lives. We are standing in the premise of a church right in the middle of Bucha. ये जो आप अपने आंखों के सामने देख
Thank you for staying with Republic. And while cyclone Biparjoy that flipped through Kutch and parts of Saurashtra region of Gujarat has left a trail of destruction as gusty winds and rains wreak havoc. Heavy rains lashed through entire Kutch district since the cyclone started making landfall near Jakhau port from 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, and the process continued till 2:30 in the morning. Biparjoy unleashed destructive wind speeds of up to 140 kilometers per hour and incessant rains as trees and electricity poles were completely uprooted, while seawater entered villages that were located in low-lying areas. My colleague Priyanka, who has been on the ground sending us every detail, has sent us these reports. Take a look.
We are right here at the Manvi beach, just less than 24 hours again, and it is completely unrecognizable from yesterday. We'll show you the images of what we're talking about, because this is the beach side. And this essentially, believe it or not, was the place where the shops had been, and we have seen how these shops are completely gone under the sand, and what we can see is all of these places that have been completely inundated, the shops, the shacks that used to be here, all of those that have been completely gone under this sand, because this is where we are. We're right here at the beach. That essentially gives us a picture of how much destruction that has happened and how much the kind of loss of livelihood that we are seeing. If we keep panning, we show these images of these recreational shops, the parts of these recreational shops that we are seeing halfway in the sand, some of them completely submerged in this sand as well. We are looking at these kind of images that really tells us how this kind of destruction has happened, because we are very close to the beach. In fact, technically we are, on a normal day we would have been very far away from the beach, but because of the high tide, because of the cyclonic storm, we are looking at these kind of images of the beach, of the water level rising and then of course submerging the entire nearby completely areas where the shacks had been there. The people's livelihood completely decimated, as we are looking at more and more of these images. Heartbreaking, so to speak, because these are the bread and butter of several people that have been completely lost because of the cyclonic storm. And those are the images, in fact, that we get to see how people's livelihood has been completely submerged in the sand, in the waters. And these are stalls. You know, interestingly, we still see some of the food plates inside, and we see how these stalls have been completely submerged in this mud. And we are so close to the water because the water levels had risen. The high tides, in fact, continue. But of course, this is the after effect of the cyclonic storm that we had witnessed, and the effects of that we had witnessed in at least 8 districts very intensely. And of course, Kutch was one of them. But this point becomes extremely crucial because we were here just day before when the cyclonic storm was all set to make the landfall, and we are here right after that, the morning after of the cyclonic storm, and we are seeing a completely different picture of the Manvi beach. The same beach that had been quite far away has been completely submerged, and yesterday we had seen these images of destruction that really tell us how bad and how intense the cyclonic storm must have been, and the effect of that must have been here as well. So much so that the series of entire shops, the series of livelihood, even now in fact we see the water levels coming out here, and we do see that even now there is still a lot of water level rising, a lot of high tide that we do get to see in this particular area and this particular beach even now. And of course we do look at the relief work being carried out. We do look at how the authorities are making sure that the life goes back to normalcy. But of course, the next 24 hours are also going to be an after effect of the cyclone, and that is also something that we will have to deal with. And the government is taking measures to make sure that that is also dealt with as and when people really need the assistance and the relief work from them as well. With video journalist Vipin Mori, I'm Priyanka Sharma, reporting from Manvi for Republic.
Time now for a short commercial break. On the other side, Union Minister's house attacked by insurgents in Imphal. Situation in Manipur continues to remain tense.
सिद्धार्थ 8 तारीख को हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट हुआ था। रिपब्लिक पूछ रहा आपसे। सिद्धार्थ मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, 8 तारीख को हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट हुआ था। डेटा डिलीट हुआ था हार्ड ड्राइव से, आपने बताया है क्या था डेटा? 8 हार्ड ड्राइव का डेटा डिलीट हुआ था या नहीं?
Investigation reached. So what is the update? Where is the station master, sir? Has he been questioned? What went wrong, sir? Who's to be held responsible? The victims' families are seeking answers, sir. So how far has the investigation reached? So you'll have to answer, sir.
Raised the issue of institutions, why this?
Republic TV can ask any number of questions. I'm not going to be...
So, but Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised the issue of institutions. Rahul, would you take a couple of questions on ED, Rahul? You can't push us around. मैं किसान की बात करना गरीबों की ठीक है मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ आप पूछने दीजिए मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ पूछने दीजिए मैं पूछता हूँ बेरोजगारी की बात पूछने दीजिए
This gentleman who has entered my house illegally.
भारत के लोगों की जीत है अंदर अंदर
लालू जी आपके शहाबुद्दीन से क्या रिश्ते हैं?
अरे तुम बराबर यही सवाल पूछते हो शहाबुद्दीन हमारे पार्टी में थे जेल में है
बातें होती हैं जेल में
कैसे बात होगी जेल से
टेप चला
तुम्हारे पास होगा टेप
हाँ टेप है वो चलाया भी है
चलाते रहो हरि का भजन गाते रहो
There you can see Lalu Prasad Yadav.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Ace shuttler Kidambi Srikanth stormed into the quarterfinal of the ongoing Indonesian Open 2023 in Jakarta with a clean win over compatriot and Commonwealth champion Lakshya Sen. Kidambi was dominant over his younger challenger and conquered it within 2 straight games. PV Sindhu's disappointing season continued with a loss to Chinese Taipei's Tai Zhuing. The Olympic medalist Sindhu lost within 2 straight games. Sindhu exited the tournament in the second round of 16. Veteran India off-spinner R. Ashwin opened up about him not getting an opportunity to play in the World Test Championship final against Australia, saying that he knew in advance that he was not going to be a part of playing 11 for the summit clash at the Oval in London in June. After months of disagreement, the BCCI and PCB finally reached the same page on the position of Asia Cup 2023. The conundrum that continued for months has apparently been appeased after Asian Cricket Council accepted PCB's proposal of a hybrid model. Slipping into a short commercial break. On the other side, we get you details as Cyclone Biparjoy leaves a trail of destruction in coastal Gujarat. NDRF continues clearing operations.
These are the images which shows you the reality of what really happened in the city of Bucha. What you see right now on your screens is the reality of this war where thousands and thousands of Ukrainians have lost their lives. We are standing in the premise of a church right in the middle of Bucha. ये जो आप अपने आंखों के सामने देख रहे हैं ये विश्व के सबसे बड़ा एयरबस हुआ करता था एक टाइम पर और आज आप जो देख रहे हैं इसका कुछ नहीं बचा. You have to leave from here. They're going to try and come back once again. Here, sir. Sir, this is the back entry. This is the back entrance of Mr. Chidambaram. Chidambaram has been arrested right now. That's me, Chidambaram, right now. Madam, he's been arrested. On the screen, that's Mr. Chidambaram. Do you have to say?
Mr. Charles? Please. Mr. Please.
barrack number 12 jail conditions are ready according to Team India. Is that not fine according to the jail? Persistently been asking you only one question. Himalaya, why did you escape in 2015? Why did you walk out? Why did you rush out of India? Himalaya, why the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? Just answer one question, sir.
Men, women, they are marching towards the road. Though some clashes are also witnessed here at the Sheikhpura road. See the tear smoke shells being used by the Jammu and Kashmir police. Now we can see also that the protesters are not crossing the line.
हम आज जब अपने उन शहीदों को याद करते हैं तो उसके साथ साथ जवानों की भी बात करना जरूरी है जो अभी भी ग्राउंड पर तैनात है। मैं चाहूंगी एक बार माँ भारती को याद करके एक नारा दे दे जो लोगों के दिलों तक पहुंचेगा। एक बार
These are the images which shows you the reality of what really happened in the city of Bucha. What you see right now on your screens is the reality of this war where thousands and thousands of Ukrainians have lost their lives. We are standing in the premise of a church right in the middle of Bucha. ये जो आप अपने आंखों के सामने देख रहे हैं ये विश्व के सबसे बड़ा एयरबस हुआ करता था एक टाइम पर और आज आप जो देख रहे हैं इसका कुछ नहीं बचा. You have to leave from here.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Republic TV. The tensions in Bengal continue a day after there were clashes between ISF and TMC on the last day of nomination filing for the Panchayat elections. The Bengal governor visited the clash site and reviewed the entire situation. We'll get you all the updates on that. First up, let's have a quick check of the headlines. A day after violence, a Bengal governor visits clash site to get first-hand report. Bags full of crude bombs and explosives are found in Bhangar. Is this not evidence enough for the police?
With prayer, I construct the house. But if someone is try to vandalize and demolish, I feel shocked. And I never expect such kind of attitudes and activities from my fellow.
Union Minister's house attacked by insurgents in Imphal. Situation in Manipur continues to remain tense. BHP to stage protests against a Congress government decision to repeal law against forced conversions in Karnataka. Cyclone Biparjoy leaves a trail of destruction in coastal Gujarat. NDRF continues clearing operations. And a Section 144 has been imposed in Chamba after a flare-up. Now, condemning the Karnataka Cabinet's decision to repeal the anti-conversion law that was brought in by the BJP government in 2022, Hindu groups are staging protests in Chikmagalur and also in Hubli in Karnataka. In fact, BHP is has also given a call for protests at 4 p.m. today. Prajwal joins us live on this broadcast. Prajwal, if you can give us more details about the protests, the multi-city protests that are taking place in Karnataka over Congress government's decision to repeal the law against forced conversions.
Sanika, first and foremost, when we are looking at the Chikmagalur region, in the Malnad region in Chikmagalur, it is the Bajrang Dal which is going ahead and conducting protest against the Congress government, stating that the anti-conversion law should not be repealed. And meanwhile, in Hubballi, it is the Vishwa Hindu Parishad which is protesting against the government's decision to repeal the anti-conversion law. Apart from which, at 4 p.m. today here in Bengaluru, we will be witnessing a massive protest rally by the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, starting from Town Hall, marching towards Vidhan Saudha, demanding the government of Karnataka not to repeal the anti-conversion law as well. So now what the Law Minister H.K. Patil has largely stated is that they will be repealing the anti-conversion law which was introduced by the BJP in 2022, meaning to say that the anti-conversion law will be there, but the changes that was made by the BJP will be repealed, meaning to state that in section 3 of the law last year around, the BJP has gone on to criminalize this and state that if any person is going ahead and converting a person against their will by trying forcefully or by enticing them, it will be a jail term for 3 to 5 years and a fine of 25,000 rupees. And if it concerns the SC, STs, women or the minorities, the tenure for the jail term will go up to 10 years with a fine of 50,000 rupees as well. So the BJP actually made sure that this will become criminalized as well, and this will be taken seriously too, because more and more such cases were being done. Apart from which, they also added a clause stating that if a person wants to convert, he should be submitting a document to the district commissioner 30 days before converting, stating why he wanted to convert to and which region he wanted to convert to, so that the entire process becomes transparent as well. And this is something which the Congress wants to tinker with, the government over here, and wants to remove it completely and just have it alone. So there is massive protest stating that this should be criminalized no matter what. So this is something which the pro-Hindu organizations are now demanding, and the BJP had lashed out stating that the Congress party is more of like a Muslim party and they are trying to appease the minorities.
Thank you very much, Prajwal, for joining us on this live broadcast and sharing details about the protests that are taking place right now and the protests that will also take place at 4 p.m. in Karnataka. And we're moving on to this quick report where Prime Minister Modi has addressed the G20 summit on agriculture. Here's a report.
Friends, as you know, the year 2023 is being celebrated as the International Year of Millets. You will find a reflection of this on your plates in Hyderabad with many dishes based on millets or Sri Anna, as we call it in India. These superfoods are not only healthy to consume, but they also help raise the income of our farmers by using less water, needing less fertilizer, and being more pest resistant. Of course, millets are not new. They have been cultivated for thousands of years. But markets and marketing had influenced our choices so much that we forgot the value of traditionally grown food crops. Let us embrace Sri Anna millets as the food of our choice. As part of our own commitment, India is developing an Institute of Millets Research as a center of excellence for sharing best practices, research and technology in millets.
Breaking news right now from the state of West Bengal. West Bengal government has filed a review petition in Calcutta High Court against deployment of central forces in all districts of the state for panchayat elections. In fact, yesterday we had news that Calcutta High Court had directed deployment of central forces in the next 48 hours, considering the violence that took place in Bhangur, especially where ISF and TMC workers clashed. There were crude bombs that were hurled, stones were pelted at not just the police but also at media personnel. Calcutta High Court had directed deployment of central forces. Right now, what the information that we're getting is that in fact West Bengal government has filed a review petition in the Calcutta High Court saying that they do not want to deploy the central forces. We have Kishalai joining us live from the Bangla newsroom. Kishalai, why does the Bengal government not want central forces deployed despite unabated violence in the run-up to the panchayat elections?
Well, Sanika, we saw yesterday how unabated violence, how unprecedented pictures of violence came up from Bhangur in South 24 Parganas, where ISF and TMC clashed, and ISF alleged that 2 ISF workers were killed. After that, immediately in the preceding night, yesterday night around 9 p.m, the Calcutta High Court ordered that throughout the state, everywhere, not just in sensitive areas, but everywhere, central forces needs to be brought in. After that, the State Election Commissioner, Rajiv Sinha, he clearly said that we are going to abide by the instructions of the High Court. That's what the State Election Commissioner said on camera in a reaction, in a bite. After that, now what happened next is that today again we are getting updates according to sources that the state has filed a review petition of this decision. And but what is the reason, which you rightly asked? Even the cost of the central forces will not be on the state. The cost will be, the whole cost will be on the center. Whatever cost is required to deploy central forces across West Bengal on 8th of July on the date of panchayat election. And actually from just 48 hours from yesterday, the central forces will be arriving. They are expected to arrive. Now the whole cost of that central force deployment will be on the center. So they don't have to bear the cost. The state government don't have to bear the cost. They don't have to bear the even the staying and lodging and fooding will be taken care of by the center. So what is their problem? If central forces come, what will be stopping? What problems will they face in holding the elections? That's what the opposition parties are asking. If the central forces come, it is a natural common sense that there will be a better position to hold elections, because there will be less violence, there will be less chaos, and the miscreants can be controlled. But the opposition is asking, then why the state government doesn't want the central forces to come in? What is their actual objective during the elections? That is at one hand. And I'll give you some latest update that the governor visited the spot where violence happened yesterday at Bhangur, and he had a meeting with the administrators and police officials. He also had a talk with the locals. After that, he spoke to the media, and he clearly said that whoever has done violence will be punished, will be taken care of. And then he left that area with all the information that he has collected from the violence hit spot. So all these updates coming from Bengal. Now we have to see, after this review petition that we are getting to know from the sources, what exactly will be the next move of the state government. Sanika.
Kishalai, just stay with us as you continue to get us more details on the ground situation in the state of West Bengal. We also have a reaction coming in from the West Bengal governor, who visited the clash site some time back, a few hours back. He spoke to the media after he reviewed the situation there. Let's listen in.
I came to this Mahavidyalaya as a chancellor of the universities. On the way, I happened to see some places where unfortunate incidents of violence was there. I could interact with the victims, some of them, and also with the local people. This was a fact-finding, data-gathering period for me. I have made my own inferences from what has happened. I would like to take further action based upon an objective analysis of what I have seen, what I have heard, what I have analyzed, and what I have experienced. I can assure the people of Bengal, violence will be the first victim in this election. Violence should die a silent death. Violence will be encountered by silence in the sense those perpetrators of violence will be silenced in a permanent way under the constitution, under the law of the land. The peace-loving people of Bengal have a right to exercise their franchise, unmindful or unfearful of anybody else. This election should be resolved by the silent majority of the state and the lovers of democracy to ensure that peaceful elections will become a rule rather than an exception in Bengal. This calls for concerted efforts by all concerned. As governor, I would take the initiative to see that all stakeholders are brought together and a joint effort is made to quell this situation of violence which mars the peace and quiet of this peaceful state.
Priyanka Tibrewal of the BJP is joining us on the phone line right now. Priyanka, we've witnessed the clashes that took place yesterday in South 24 Pargana. Stones were pelted not just at the police but also at the media. Bombs were hurled and in fact some more bombs were found today. Despite all of the violence that took place and despite Supreme Court directing State Election Commission to deploy central forces, the Bengal government, it seems, doesn't want central forces to be deployed in the run-up to the Panchayat elections. Your first response on it?
See, I am not aghast, neither shocked, because a government who doesn't follow the rule of law in the land and wants to follow their own principles, where people are being killed, bombs are being hurled and stones are being pelted. There is a denial from them to accept the central forces in West Bengal, and there's no surprise to this. So this can very well, you can read the mindset of this government that this wants to stay in power through vandalism, through violence, which is their basic nature. Otherwise, you tell me that it is the court which has given them the option to maintain peace and law and order in the state. If the central forces come, what is the harm? It is just because that the government knows that through peace, they will never be able to, continue in power. So that is the reason that they wanted police from other states like Bihar, like Jharkhand, so that they can come here and help them promote the violence more and more. So their picture is quite clear and visible. And this has been seen by the people of West Bengal number of times after the 2021 elections, the post-poll violence which we have witnessed. We have seen everything. You cannot expect anything else from Mamata Banerjee. It is only violence.
Priyanka, this is Kishalay from Republic Bangla Newsroom. We saw 2 days back, you and Shajol Ghosh, you were both there in Canning and there was violence. But yesterday, what we saw, unabated violence, and today the governor is at the spot. Do you expect that the governor, after he has issued statement that he will be taking action, there'll be real action taken against the perpetrators of the violence, number one? And number two, the state has also filed a review petition as a lawyer. Do you think that will be considered by the High Court, keeping in mind the situation on the ground, Priyanka?
See, they will get it very hard and strongly from the High Court this time in the review petition. I'll tell you the reason why. You have seen that on a number of occasions, Abhishek Banerjee was trying to waste the time of the court. And there he was fined for 25 lakhs. And this is a case where people are being killed and murdered, and another petition is being filed to continue that vandalism. So you can just think what the High Court will come out with and how they will pull it. And yes, of course, the attacks was visible on me and Sajal Ghosh day before yesterday. You all have seen that. So I would say that in this situation, the governor of West Bengal should exercise his special powers and stall the elections. Because if people will die in democracy, there is no point doing any kind of election.
Thank you very much, Priyanka Tibrewal, for joining us on this live broadcast and giving us your first response on the developments that are taking place in the state of West Bengal. We're going to keep a close watch on the situation there as far as the investigation into the violence is concerned, as far as the court proceedings are also concerned in the run-up to the Panchayat elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the G20 Agriculture Ministers meeting via live video conferencing. He went on to highlight the importance of technology in natural farming. He also added that the current roadblocks in agriculture are being addressed. On Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US Representative Adam Smith says he looks forward to strengthening the relationship between both countries. He said that Prime Minister Modi's visit is a crucial part of the bilateral ties. As the wrestlers versus Brij Bhushan face-off continues, Sakshi Malik has called for a key meeting with other protesting wrestlers in Sonipat this evening. Students Federation along with DMK, VCK, SFI and Students Wing staged protests against Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi in connection with the delay in convocation and other issues. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar alleged that the centre, he in fact accused the centre of stopping the sale of rice to the state to scuttle the state government's free rice scheme. He has called it politics of hatred. He said, and I quote, "It is politics of hatred. We will certainly implement the scheme. On June 20th, we will hold protests against BJP across the state." And flash floods hit North Sikkim district and the National Highway 10 has been submerged, which has resulted in overflow of nearby rivers leading to flash flood that engulfed the highway. We're heading into a break right now. After the break, we'll get you more reports from coastal Gujarat, where cyclone Biparjoy has left a trail of destruction. Section 144 has been imposed in Chamba. Ground report from Chamba coming up.
The top-ranked Amity BTech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India who get global exposure at the 5-week study abroad program at Amity's global campuses at no additional tuition fee. To apply, visit amity.edu.
लालू जी, आपके शहाबुद्दीन से क्या रिश्ते हैं?
अरे तुम बराबर यही सवाल पूछते हो। शहाबुद्दीन हमारे पार्टी में थे, जेल में है।
बातें होती हैं जेल में?
कैसे बात होगी जेल से?
टेप चलाते हैं।
तुम्हारे पास होगा टेप?
हाँ, टेप है, वो चलाया भी है।
चलाते रहो, हरि का भजन गाते रहो।
There you can see Lalu Prasad Yadav losing his cool with reporters, saying that you have absolutely no stature to ask him questions.
साहब यहाँ आपातकाल लगाए, देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है। 1000 एडिटर मुझे पकड़ रहे, ये देखिए मुझे पकड़ रहे। देशमुख साहब, मेरा खून निकल रहा है, आप देख रहे हैं। देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है, आप पत्रकारों को जेल में डालेंगे, मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। 1000 रिपब्लिक आप ऐसे पकड़ेंगे मुझे, मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है, मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है, ये देखिए।
These are the cars carrying Christian Michel. You are going to see more and more cars on your screens right now. And that is Christian Michel. First visuals on your screen. Christian, would you want to speak? Christian, have you turned an approver? Christian, would you give facts to India? Christian, will you tell the truth about those names? Christian, will you tell the truth about the family? Christian, and that's the car getting in. Christian Michel, first visuals.
फायर में किसी का नाम नहीं है, बर्ताव कर रहे, क्या इसका कोई एक्शन लिया जाएगा?
सर कार्रवाई को लेकर क्या कहना चाहेंगे? भूपेंद्र जी कार्रवाई को लेकर क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Mr. Wazir, why you arrested him, sir?
The Alibag police has arrested him under section 306 and 34 of...
Because it was a case, I believe, that was closed by the police itself.
Yeah, the same police and same court has opened it. Sir?
No, I am not. I'm following. I am doing my job. I am doing my job. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. They're trying to stop us from reporting.
Now, wrestlers Bajrang Punia, Sakshi Malik and Vinesh Fogart are expected to meet in Sonipat this evening to strategize on their next course of action. This comes a day after Delhi police has filed its charge sheet in case against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. Here's a report.
A day after Delhi police officials filed their charge sheet in the Rouse Avenue Court and the closure report in the POXO Act in the Patiala House Court, wrestlers Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart and Bajrang Punia to meet in Sonipat area of Haryana. According to Sakshi Malik, she clearly stated that till the time justice is not sought, their protest will not be over. All eyes are on the charge sheet. They have yet not received the charge sheet from their lawyers, which Delhi police official has submitted in the Rouse Avenue Court. According to Sakshi Malik, she was also seen stating that the wrestlers are not satisfied with the charges which are framed up by the Delhi police officials in the charge sheet. They clearly said that the court will take the final order, but no one is to be relied if the FIRs are being taken back. She also stated that the next plan of action for the protest will be decided by the wrestlers after a meeting in Sonipat today, in which Bajrang Punia, Vinesh Fogart and Sakshi Malik will be participating, and later the plan of action will also be shared with the Khas in the Haryana.
We're heading into a break right now. After the break, we'll get a ground report from Manipur after Union Minister's house has been attacked by insurgents in Imphal. BHP will stage protests against Karnataka government's decision to repeal law against forced conversions.
The top-ranked Amity B.Tech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India, with alumni working in top companies around the world and earning over 2 crores rupees per annum. To apply, visit amity.edu.
हम आज जब अपने उन शहीदों को याद करते हैं तो उसके साथ साथ जवानों की भी बात करना जरूरी है जो अभी भी ग्राउंड पर तैनात है। मैं चाहूंगी एक बार माँ भारती को याद करके एक नारा दे दे जो लोगों के दिलों तक पहुंचेगा। एक बार भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय।
सिद्धार्थ 8 तारीख को हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट हुआ था। रिपब्लिक पूछ रहा है। सिद्धार्थ मैं पूछ रहा हूँ 8 तारीख को हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट हुआ था। डेटा डिलीट हुआ था हार्ड ड्राइव से, आपने बताया है क्या था डेटा? 8 हार्ड ड्राइव का डेटा डिलीट हुआ था या नहीं?
Investigation reached. So what is the update? Where is the station master, sir? Has he been questioned? What went wrong, sir? Who is to be held responsible? The victims' families are seeking answers, sir. So how far has the investigation reached? So you'll have to answer. answers, sir.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised the issue of institutions. Why this?
Republic TV can ask any number of questions. I'm not going to be.
Sir, but Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised the issue of institutions.
Rice.
Rahul, would you take a couple of questions on ED, Rahul? You can't push us around. मैं किसान की बात करना गरीबों की ठीक है मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ आप पूछने दीजिए मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ पूछने दीजिए मैं पूछता हूँ बेरोजगारी की बात पूछने दीजिए
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Thank you for tuning in. A quick check of the headlines. A day after violence, Bengal governor visits clash site to get a first-hand report. Bags full of crude bombs and explosives found in Bhangar. Is this not evidence enough for the police? Union Minister's house attacked by insurgents in Imphal. Situation in Manipur continues to remain tense. Hindu group stages protests against Congress government's decision to repeal law against forced conversions in Karnataka. Cyclone Biparjoy leaves a trail of destruction in coastal Gujarat. NDRF continues clearing operation. And well, Cyclone Biparjoy, which ripped through Kutch and parts of Saurashtra region of Gujarat, has left a trail of destruction as gusty winds and rains wreaked havoc. Heavy rains lashed the entire Kutch district since the cyclone started making landfall near Jakhau port from 6:30 in the evening on Thursday, and the process continued till 2:30 in the morning the next day. Biparjoy unleashed destructive wind speeds of up to 140 kilometers an hour and incessant rains as trees and electricity poles were uprooted while seawater entered villages located in low-lying areas. My colleague Priyanka sending us these ground reports.
We are right here at the Manvi beach, just less than 24 hours again, and it is completely unrecognizable from yesterday. We'll show you the images of what we're talking about because this is the beach side, and this essentially, believe it or not, was the place where the shops had been, and we have seen how these shops are completely gone under the sand, and what we can see is all of these places that have been completely inundated, the shops, the shacks that used to be here, all of those that have been completely gone under this sand, because this is where we are. We're right here at the beach. That essentially gives us a picture of how much destruction that has happened and how much the kind of loss of livelihood that we are seeing. If we keep panning, we show these images of these recreational shops, the parts of these recreational shops that we are seeing halfway in the sand, some of them completely submerged in this sand as well. We are looking at these kind of images that really tells us how this kind of destruction has happened, because we are very close to the beach. In fact, technically, we are on a normal day, we would have been very far away from the beach, but because of the high tide, because of the cyclonic storm, we are looking at these kind of images of the beach, of the water level rising, and then of course submerging the entire nearby completely areas where the shacks had been there, the people's livelihood completely decimated, as we are looking at more and more of these images. Heartbreaking, so to speak, because these are the bread and butter of several people that have been completely lost because of the cyclonic storm. And those are the images, in fact, that we get to see how people's livelihood has been completely submerged in the sand, in the waters.
And these are stalls. You know, interestingly, we still see some of the food plates inside, and we see how these stalls have been completely submerged in this mud. And we are so close to the water because the water levels had risen. The high tides, in fact, continue. But of course, this is the after effect of the cyclonic storm that we had witnessed, and the effects of that we had witnessed in at least 8 districts very intensely. And of course, Kutch was one of them. But this point becomes extremely crucial because we were here just day before when the cyclonic storm was all set to make the landfall, and we are here right after that, the morning after of the cyclonic storm, and we are seeing a completely different picture of the Mandvi beach. The same beach that had been quite far away has been completely submerged, and yesterday we had seen these images of destruction that really tell us how bad and how intense the cyclonic storm must have been, and the effect of that must have been here as well. So much so that the series of entire shops, the series of livelihood, even now in fact we see the water levels coming out here, and we do see that even now there is still a lot of water level rising, a lot of high tide that we do get to see in this particular area and this particular beach even now. And of course we do look at the relief work being carried out. We do look at how the authorities are making sure that the life goes back to normalcy. But of course the next 24 hours are also going to be an after effect of the cyclone, and that is also something that we will have to deal with, and the government is taking measures to make sure that that is also dealt with as and when people really need the assistance and the relief work from them as well. With video journalist Vipin Mori, I'm Priyanka Sharma, reporting from Mandvi for Republic. The cyclone Biparjoy in fact has completed its landfall process, but the rescue operations and the relief work continues even as we see water logging in various parts. And what you see behind me is the BSF as well, the army as well, that had been in action carrying out this rescue ops. What we see is this entire tree that has stopped the entire passage of passing by the main highway, in fact, that had been also blocked because of this tree that has fallen down. We see this kind of a rescue operation that is being carried out here, and of course by the NDRF as well. We'll keep making our way to show you what exactly is the situation here on the ground, because as of now there is a lot of water logging. There is these kind of aftermath of the cyclone that we are able to see right now as far as the situation on the ground is concerned. And we see more and more rescue ops, more and more relief work by the army, by the BSF, by the NDRF as well, that had been deployed here. In fact, we see that several parts in fact completely waterlogged, and that's exactly what we are witnessing even on the ground as we get you the situation as far as the aftermath of the cyclonic storm is concerned. We get to understand how this kind of relief work becomes even more important, since this is also disrupting the movement of the vehicles, from the main highway as well that connects Mandvi to Bhuj as well. So this is the kind of draining work for the water level to also be taken out from here, and the trees to also be cut down, to be released from the road. So this is the relief work that is going on, and of course zero casualty that had been reported. But as of now we are looking at the relief work in progress by the NDRF and by the other officials on the ground.
And cutting across to breaking news coming in after Karnataka Cabinet approved a textbook revamp which would drop chapters on RSS founder Keshav Baliram Hegdewar and V.D. Savarkar. Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis hit out at Congress, accusing the Karnataka Congress government of appeasement politics. Not just that, he's also questioned Uddhav Thackeray's silence on this issue, going on to ask him if the Mahavikas Aghadi wanted to repeat a similar pattern in Maharashtra as well. Listen into that statement.
कर्नाटक में जिस प्रकार से स्वतंत्रवीर सावरकर जी, डॉक्टर हेडगेवार जी का नाम हटाना, या फिर जिस प्रकार से धर्मांतरण को बढ़ावा मिले, इस प्रकार की चीजें करना ये सारी चीजें देखी गई है। मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं कि आप किसी किताब से किसी का नाम मिटा सकते हैं, किसी के दिलों से किसी का नाम नहीं मिटाया जा सकता। जिन्होंने देश की स्वतंत्रता में योगदान दिया है उनका नाम आप मिटा नहीं सकते। लेकिन मैं सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं उद्धव ठाकरे जी को, जो महाविकास आघाड़ी में कांग्रेस के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर वहां पर बैठे हुए हैं, कि अब आपकी प्रतिक्रिया क्या है? क्या सत्ता के लिए केवल अल्पसंख्यकों का जिस प्रकार से तुष्टीकरण चल रहा है उसको आप मान्यता देते हैं? क्या ये अपमान वीर सावरकर जी का आप मान्य करेंगे, या फिर कुर्सी के लिए केवल समझौता करेंगे? ये मेरा सवाल। कर्नाटक में जिस प्रकार से स्वतंत्र वीर सावरकर जी, डॉक्टर हेडगेवार जी का नाम हटाना, या फिर जिस प्रकार से धर्मांतरण को बढ़ावा मिले, इस प्रकार की चीजें करना, ये सारी चीजें देखी गई है। मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं कि आप किसी किताब से किसी का नाम मिटा सकते हैं, किसी के दिलों से किसी का नाम नहीं मिटाया जा सकता। जिन्होंने देश की स्वतंत्रता में योगदान दिया है उनका नाम आप मिटा नहीं सकते। लेकिन मैं सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं उद्धव ठाकरे जी को, जो महाविकास आघाड़ी में कांग्रेस के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर वहां पर बैठे हुए हैं, कि अब आपकी प्रतिक्रिया क्या है? क्या सत्ता के लिए केवल अल्पसंख्यकों का जिस प्रकार से तुष्टीकरण चल रहा है उसको आप मान्यता देते हैं? क्या ये अपमान वीर सावरकर जी का आप मान्य करेंगे, या फिर कुर्सी के लिए केवल समझौता करेंगे? ये मेरा सवाल।
So that is a statement coming in from Devendra Fadnavis, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister, over textbook revamp in Karnataka. And most importantly, as he also questions the Mahavikas Aghadi government, Uddhav Thackeray to be precise, where he asks him as to whether he would want to repeat the same and bring it to Maharashtra when it comes to such a pattern being followed by the Congress Karnataka government. Sandeep is with me on the phone line. Sandeep, well, after much criticism over revamping the syllabus in Karnataka, it is Devendra Fadnavis now questioning Uddhav Thackeray under Mahavikas Aghadi to what is happening in Karnataka and whether he would want to bring the same to Maharashtra.
This question to Uddhav Thackeray is a direct attack on Uddhav Thackeray. Remember that the course of action that had taken place in Karnataka. Once the BJP was there in the government, they added the Veer Savarkar and Hegdewar chapters to the textbook, and later on they removed it after the Congress party came into the power. Now Devendra Fadnavis had made a firm attack on Uddhav Thackeray, questioning him of his reaction, whether he is fine with this move by the Congress party, as Uddhav Thackeray is an alliance partner in Mahavikas Aghadi and shares the alliance with Congress party. So definitely this is the question to Uddhav Thackeray, and the question is not just that, it is a clear message to Uddhav Thackeray that will you share the alliance with Congress party in the upcoming elections, as the Congress party has removed the syllabus in Karnataka. They may take this step in Maharashtra as well. So definitely this kind of statement is a multiple attack on Uddhav Thackeray.
All right, Sandeep, many thanks for getting us these details. On that note, we also take a quick check of the other top stories we are tracking for our viewers very, very close. Prime Minister Modi addressed the G20 Agriculture Ministers meeting today via live video conferencing. He went on to highlight the importance of technology in natural farming. He also added that the current roadblocks in agriculture are being addressed. On Prime Minister Modi's visit to the US Representative Adam Smith said that he looks forward to strengthening the relationship between both countries, adding that Prime Minister's visit is a crucial part. As wrestlers versus Brijbhushan face-off continues, Sakshi Malik has called for a key meet in Sonipat. All top wrestlers are set to meet on this issue. Students Federation along with DMK, VCK, SFI and students wing staged protests against Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi. This is in connection with the delay in convocation and other issues. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar alleged the centre of stopping the sale of rice to the state to scuttle the government's free rice scheme, calling it a politics of hatred. He said, and I quote, "It is politics of hatred. We will certainly implement the scheme. On the 20th of June, we will hold protests against BJP across the state." Stepping into a short commercial break, on the other side we get you details as bags full of fruit bombs and explosives were found in Bhangar. Is this not evidence enough for the police? Union Minister's house attacked by insurgents in Imphal. Situation in Manipur continues to remain tense.
বিজেপি কর্মী সমর্থকদের লাগাতার ক্ষোভ এবং রোষ আছড়ে পড়ার যে ছবি, দমকল স্বর্ণালী দমকলের গাড়ি, পুলিশের রিইনফোর্সমেন্ট, আমরা সেই ছবি দেখতে পাচ্ছি। আমাকে কিছুটা নিরাপদ দূরত্বে সরতেই হচ্ছে। স্বর্ণালী, ভাইয়া আপ শাটার নামা দিজিয়ে, পানি गिर रहा है, পানি ভीग जाएगा।
Mr. Waze, why have you arrested him, sir?
The Alibag police has arrested him under section 306 and 34 of...
Because it was a case, I believe, that was closed by the police itself.
Yeah, the same police and same court has opened it. Sir?
No, I am not. I'm following. I am doing my job. I am doing my job. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. They're trying to stop us from reporting. These are the images which shows you the reality of what really happened in the city of Bucha. What you see right now on your screens is the reality of this war where thousands and thousands of Ukrainians have lost their lives. We are standing in the premise of a church right in the middle of Bucha. ये जो आप अपने आंखों के सामने देख रहे हैं, ये विश्व के सबसे बड़ा एयरबस हुआ करता था एक टाइम पर, और आज आप जो देख रहे हैं इसका कुछ नहीं बचा. You have to leave from here. They're going to try and come back once again. Here, sir. Sir, this is the back entry. This is the back entrance of Mr. Chidambaram. Chidambaram has been arrested right now. That's me, Chidambaram, right now. He's been arrested on the screen. That's Mr. Chidambaram. Do you have to say?
Please. Mr. Charles, what's lies ahead? Mr. Charles, what's lies ahead for you now? Mr. Charles, are you really think the crowd's going to be safe for you?
Mr. Malia, barrack number 12 jail conditions are ready according to Team India. Is that not fine according to the jail? Persistently been asking you only one question. Mr. Malia, why did you escape in 2015? Why did you walk out? Why did you rush out of India? Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? Just answer one question, sir.
Thank you for staying with Republic. And well, in Manipur, Union Minister of State for External Affairs R.K. Ranjan Singh's house in Imphal town was vandalized by a mob. Security guards and firefighters managed to control arson attempts by the mob and save the minister's house from being burnt down on Thursday night. The development comes after the burning of 2 houses and clashes between RAF of Manipur and a mob in the heart of Imphal town on Thursday afternoon.
The house that you see behind me is not of a commoner, but in fact this is the official residence of a minister of an Biren Singh cabinet, which was vandalized by a mob last evening. Last evening, around more than 100 strong mob thronged into the residence of Minister Namsa Kipgen and from one side started to demolish the house. They not only vandalized all the belonging, including the garden in this official residence of the minister, but also set ablaze the entire official residence. All that remains here now are the debris and the wreckage of the belonging that were inside this house. All the official documents, all the files, all that were inside this building have been completely turned into ashes. Even after more than 18 hours, smokes are still coming out of the debris. Luckily, the minister and his family was not at this official residence when the mob attacked, and this incident happened hardly 200 meters away from the Lamphal police station. So you can just imagine the law and order situation in the state of Manipur. The residence of a cabinet minister vandalized, ransacked and set on fire hardly 200 meters away from the police station. This is the current situation of Manipur. Recently, after the visit of Union Home Minister Amit Shah and also Assam's Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma to the state of Manipur, it was being hoped that normalcy will soon return to the state, which has witnessed violence for more than 30 days. The house that you see behind me is not of a commoner, but in fact this is the official residence of a minister of an Biren Singh cabinet. Right now we are in Sekhon area of Imphal East, and as you can see a few hundred meters away from me there is a standoff going on between the mob and the police. The security forces are deployed there, and it has been learned that the mob tried to enter into a area which is predominantly Kuki residential area, and when they were arsoning the houses in that locality, the security forces came in to control the situation and disperse the mob, and that is when the standoff began. And as of now, in order to disperse the mob, the security forces have been firing tear gas cells as well as bullets in the air in order to disperse the mob. As we report from Sekhon in Imphal, the standoff still continues, and it is being learned that though the mob has blocked the road even for essential services like the fire tenders to go to the area where they have set ablaze the houses, the police and the security forces is trying hard to control the situation and bring the situation under control so that the fire services, the fire tenders can go to the spot. Meanwhile, you can see here also heavy deployment of police forces can be seen, and the road have been barricaded. No one is being allowed to move towards the interior areas of Sekhon, as only 100 meters away the mob is blocking the road, and from reinforcement is being sent from both sides. From that side there is a confrontation now going on in Sekhon in Imphal. Bringing you ground reports with video journalist Ashok, I am Aniruddha for Republic from Manipur.
Time for a short commercial break. On the other side, Hindu groups staged protests against Congress government's decision to repeal law against forced conversions in Karnataka. Cyclone Biparjoy leaves a trail of destruction in coastal Gujarat. NDRF continues clearing operations.
This gentleman who has entered my house illegally.
भारत के लोगों की जीत है। बंदर, बंदर।
This gentleman who has entered my house illegally.
भारत के लोगों की जीत है। बंदर, बंदर।
लालू जी, आपके शहाबुद्दीन से क्या रिश्ते हैं?
अरे तुम बराबर यही सवाल पूछते हो। शहाबुद्दीन हमारे पार्टी में थे, जेल में है।
बातें होती हैं जेल में?
कैसे बात होगी जेल से?
टेप चलाते हैं।
तुम्हारे पास होगा टेप?
हाँ, टेप है, वो चलाया भी है।
चलाते रहो, हरिगा भजन गाते रहो।
There you can see Lalu Prasad Yadav losing his cool with reporters, saying that you have absolutely no stature to ask him questions.
देशमुख साहब यहाँ आपातकाल लगाए। देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है। 1000 एडिटर मुझे पकड़ रहे। ये देखिए मुझे पकड़ रहे। देशमुख साहब, मेरा खून निकल रहा है। आप देख रहे हैं देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है। आप पत्रकारों को जेल में डालेंगे। मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। 1000 रिपब्लिक आप ऐसे पकड़ेंगे मुझे। मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है। मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है। ये देखिए।
These are the cars carrying Christian Michel. You are going to see more and more cars on your screens right now. And that is Christian Michel. First visuals on your screen. Christian, would you want to speak? Christian, have you turned down the brewer? Christian, would you give facts to India? Christian, will you tell the truth about those names? Christian, will you tell the truth about the family? Christian, and that's the car getting in. Christian Michel, first visuals.
सर एफआईआर में किसी का नाम नहीं है। सब बर्ताव कर रहे हैं, क्या इसका कोई एक्शन लिया जाएगा?
सर कार्रवाई को लेकर क्या कहना चाहेंगे? भूपेंद्र जी कार्रवाई को लेकर क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Thank Thank you for staying with Republic. You're watching Super Fast 50. I'm Suesha Sound. On to the first story. West Bengal Governor C.V. Ananda Bose visited Bhangar in South 24 Pargana district after violence erupted between supporters of rival political groups over the nomination filing for state panchayat elections. The governor said in a statement that victory in elections should depend on the count of votes, not the count of dead bodies.
I came to this Mahavidyalaya as a chancellor of the universities. On the way, I happened to see some places where unfortunate incidents of violence was there. I could interact with the victims, some of them, and also with the local people. This was a fact-finding, data-gathering period for me. I have made my own inferences from what has happened. I would like to take further action based upon an objective analysis of what I have seen, what I have heard, what I have analyzed, and what I have experienced.
West Bengal is witnessing violence and clashes in certain parts of the state during the filing of nomination papers for panchayat polls. Today, a day after the clash broke out in Bhangar, a bag full of crude bombs and explosives were found in Bhangar. A mob torched Union Minister for State for External Affairs R.K. Ranjan Singh's residence at Chamba in Imphal last night. This is not the first occurrence of such an incident. Union Minister R.K. Ranjan Singh, whose residence was torched by mob, said that he was in a state of shock. He added that law and order situation in Manipur has totally failed and that the situation is grim in the state.
More than many temples are also demolished. So the mob violence, you cannot identify it, whether this is church or this is temple. Everything is there. Demolished. More than 70,000 the peoples were displaced. This is not on the basis of caste, creed or religions. It's a mob.
After Karnataka cabinet approved a textbook revamp which would drop chapters on RSS founder Keshav Baliram and V.D. Savarkar, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has hit out at the Congress, accusing the Karnataka Congress government of appeasement politics. Karnataka Congress Working President Salim Ahmed took a dig at the BJP and said that BJP just lost the elections and have not yet come out of the defeat. He also added that their statements will not help in the development of the state. Right after Congress scrapped the anti-conversion bill in Karnataka, VHP staged protests against the Congress government's decision to repeal law against forced conversions in Karnataka. In yet another shocking incident, an on-duty constable in Karnataka was crushed to death by a sand mafia. The incident took place while the constable tried to stop a truck transporting illegally mined sand. Coming down heavily in the constable killing by sand mafia in Kalaburgi case, Karnataka Minister Dr. M.C. Sudhakar stated, and I quote, that it is very shocking and that serious action will be taken against those behind it. Justice will be served. District authorities have issued prohibitory orders under Section 144 of the CRPC in Chamba Saluni area for 2 months to avoid escalation of tension in the area. Pieces of Manohar's body were recovered from a drain in Bandal Panchayat of Saluni on the 8th of June, 2 days after he went missing. Cyclone Biparjoy slammed into the Gujarat coast with powerful winds, sowing fear and prompting evacuations. Trees were uprooted and property was damaged in Nalia amid strong winds of Cyclone Biparjoy. Currently, Mundra, Jakhau, Koteshwar, Lakpat and Nalia are witnessing high wind speed and rainfall. Heavy rains and gusty winds at a speed of over 115 to 120 kilometers per hour created havoc in Gujarat's Morbi district, damaging over 300 electric poles, leading to power outage in around 45 villages after Cyclone Biparjoy made a landfall in coastal areas of the state. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel held a meet to review the current scenario across the state, to remove trees and electricity poles and restore electricity supply. With chances of heavy rainfall in North Gujarat districts, the administration has also been alerted. Gujarat continues to witness cyclone Biparjoy's impact. 6 teams of the NDRF were deployed for relief and rescue operations in Kutch district. An update on the intensity of SCS Biparjoy. Met Director Manorma Mohanty said the intensity of the cyclone storm will weaken into a cyclonic storm and will convert into a depression by the same evening. Reports state that Biparjoy will continue to impact the regional weather for the next 24 to 48 hours, triggering extremely heavy rains over parts of northern Gujarat and southern Rajasthan. IMD officials said that Biparjoy is expected to move towards Rajasthan, adding that heavy rains are expected in the state. Rajasthan government has deployed 8 companies of State Disaster Response Force in Jaipur, Kota, Bharatpur, Udaipur, Ajmer, Jodhpur, Bikaner and 1 company of NDRF in Kishangarh in Ajmer district as precautionary measures due to the cyclone are taking place. Bhuj SP Karan Singh Waghela said that the police is deployed everywhere and are stationed all over the district so they can reach anywhere if needed, adding that no casualties have been reported so far.
पश्चिम कच्छ में और पूरे कच्छ में कल साइक्लोन हिट हुआ है। अभी भी साइक्लोन की इफेक्ट चालू है। काफ़ी सारे एरियाज़ में मुंद्रा, मांडवी, नलिया, जखऊ और ऊपर जो नारायण सरोवर वायर एरिया है वहाँ पे हैवी विंड के साथ रेनफॉल हो रहा है। सभी जगह पे हमारी पुलिस की टीम्स तैनात है। हर एक शेल्टर होम पे हमारा पुलिस बंदोबस्त लगाया गया है। इसके साथ साथ जो हॉस्पिटल्स है वहाँ पे भी हमारे पुलिस के जवान वायरलेस ऑपरेटर सेट्स के साथ अवेलेबल है।
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal urged Aam Aadmi Party workers to help people affected by Cyclone Biparjoy. In a tweet in Hindi, Kejriwal said that there has been a huge loss due to the cyclone. I appeal to Aam Aadmi Party workers to get involved in relief work and help people. Prime Minister Modi addressed the G20 Agriculture Ministers meeting today via live video conferencing. He went on to highlight the importance of technology in natural farming. He also added that the current roadblocks in agriculture are being addressed.
Millets are not new. They have been cultivated for thousands of years. But markets and marketing had influenced our choices so much that we forgot the value of tradition.
আমার ছবি আছে আর একদিকে ওর 2 বছরের ছবিটা আছে, তাহলে আপনারা বুঝতে পারবেন ও আজকে রাজনীতি করছে না, 2 বছর বয়স থেকে করে। এটা ভুললে চলবে না। ছেলে মেয়েরা তারা যাদের পরিবারে থাকে বড় হয় তারা তখন থেকে করে। আমি ছবিটা চাইছি। আমি ডায়মন্ড হারবারে এসে ভাবছিলাম কিছু একটা দিতে হবে। দেখুন ছবিটা।
She's showing a picture of Abhishek Banerjee when he was a child and Mamata Banerjee when she was hit by Communist Party workers when she was younger in the Congress Party. She was in the Congress Party. She was hit by goons of allegedly Communist Party, and she's showing a picture of Abhishek Banerjee when he was a child and herself.
আমরা যে কত মার খেয়েছি আর ভুলে গেছেন আজকে।
We have been hit so many times.
জল বন্ধ করে দেওয়া,
they stopped water, they stopped electricity,
পা কেটে দেওয়া,
cut
আপনাদের জেলায় সাতগাছিয়ায় কই মাছ মুখের ভেতর ঢুকিয়ে দিয়ে অত্যাচার করে মৃত্যু করা
They used to put live fish in a person's mouth and then they used to kill them.
থেকে শুরু করে
In Amta, hands were cut off.
লাস্টে এসছে
In Birbhum, Nandigram, so many people were killed.
কত গুলি
So
চালানো
much violence happened in Bengal in the past.
অত্যাচার ঘটেছে
So many people were killed, so many people were shot in Bengal
যারা
previously.
আছেন মনে রাখবেন
I will tell today
আমরা
to the women here,
বলেছিলাম
in the previous votes we said, we will do Lakshmi Bhandar. We did that.
তাই নয়
Not only that,
আমাদের সম্পদ মা বোনেরা
you are our resource. You are our precious resources. When you will grow older, we will be giving 1,000 rupees to each of you. You all know.
পরিবারের একজন পাবে এখন কিন্তু তা নয় এখন সবার জন্য করা হয়েছে
Everyone in the family, every woman will get 1,000 rupees.
স্বাস্থ্য সাথী দেব আমরা
We said we will give health care, Shastha Shati. We did it.
10,000 টাকা
We said we will give Krishak Bandhu, friends of the farmers, and we paid 10,000 to all the farmers. We did Kanya Shri and all the campaigns, all her projects she is naming.
মাইনরিটিসদের জন্য 97% মেধাশ্রী করেছি
We did 97% scholarship for the minorities in West Bengal.
কোনটা করিনি বলুন তো এমনকি পড়াশোনায়
What is there that we did not do?
বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় পর্যন্ত
We did so much for the state, for education.
এবং কারো বিয়ে হচ্ছে না গরিব সেও কিন্তু
If someone is poor and they cannot be married, we pay money to them to get married.
পড়াশোনা চালালে 18 বছর বয়সে সে আরো 25,000 টাকা পাবে একটা শ্রমিকের মেয়ের বিয়ে হলে
When a woman grows to the age of marriage, we pay 25,000 rupees.
তার জন্য
If someone dies, we give 2,000
আপনারা
rupees.
দেখলেন কত মানুষ ট্রেন অ্যাক্সিডেন্টে মারা গেল
You saw that so many people died in train accident in Odisha.
আর মুর্শিদাবাদের
Many of them were from West Bengal, from Murshidabad, Goshaba.
5 লক্ষ টাকা করে আমরা রাজ্য সরকার
We gave 1 lakh rupees to each of them who died in the train accident in Odisha.
1 লক্ষ টাকা করে দিয়েছি এবং যারা মারা গেছে তার পরিবারের একজন করে চাকরিও দিয়ে দিয়েছি মনে
And we gave job to one person in their family who died in train accident.
সাহায্য করি
We help in every case.
ডুবে যায় আমরা সাহায্য করতে এগিয়ে আসি
in accidents,
আমরা সাহায্য করি
in Amphan, cyclones,
গঙ্গাসাগর আমরা গড়ে তুলি ফুরফুরা
during Gangasagar festival,
তারাপীঠ আমরা গড়ে তুলি দক্ষিণেশ্বর
we make Tarapit, we make Dakshineshwar and all the pilgrimage places. We do so much developmental work, we help people. And they are saying like this to us.
সারা বাংলাতে কেন্দ্রীয় ফোর্স দাও
They are saying put central forces in whole Bengal.
কিছু গুন্ডা দাম
They will actually send some goons to Bengal. 4 of the parties, BJP, ISF, Congress, CPM, they have come together to defeat TMC.
তৃণমূল শাম চিমটি দিচ্ছে তৃণমূল দে চিমটি দিচ্ছে
They are saying that TMC is beating them, but I want to challenge.
কোন রাজ্য আমাকে দেখান
In one single state, show me that so many nominations would be submitted in Panchayat poll. I'm challenging to show in one state that so many nomination papers would be submitted during Panchayat poll.
কিছু গুন্ডা করেছে আমাদের মারা গেছে আমার দুজন সহকর্মী
did some chaos yesterday and some of our TMC workers died. But none of them were TMC workers. The goons, the miscreants were not.
কেন্দ্রীয় সরকার উঁচিয়ে বসেই আছে ডান্ডা দিয়ে লোক পেটাও
Central government is ready to send central forces anytime. They want to send central forces to control.
মণিপুরেও নিয়ে গেছো
You sent central force to Manipur also. But there what happened? They burned houses. They killed 150 people in Manipur. What did your central force do in Manipur?
সেন্ট্রাল ফোর্স দিয়ে ইলেকশন হয়েছিল 2013 তে কতজন মারা গিয়েছিল
In 2013 Panchayat election, central forces were sent, but 39 people died during CPM Communist Party time. In 2003, CPIM time, Communist Party time, so many people died. 70 people died. In 2008, during Communist Party, how many people died? 36 people died. Do not forget. Please do not forget this. In Dinhata, Shitalkuchi, during election, central forces came, shot and killed 4 people in Dinhata election a few years back. I got a message from the North Bengal. One TMC member was killed by BSF. BSF killed TMC member. Your BSF killed our TMC member. Why central forces come? Why central team doesn't come in these cases? How many central teams you have? Why during rail accidents your central forces doesn't come? All the blame is on TMC. Bengal people are in peace. There is peace in Bengal. Everyone of you are getting some benefits from the government, aren't you? We are helping all people. Duare Sarkar. We have given so much benefit. Lokhir Bhandar. Again, she is naming the same projects of West Bengal government. Same program she is naming again. I will give you, after Panchayat elections, I will give you more benefits. After Panchayat elections, I will give you more benefits. I will tell you again. Krishak Bandhu and all other programs. We give 2 lakh rupees to people who die while they are fishing, or even the farmers with money. You are saying there is no peace in Bengal. What peace? In CPM time, Communist Party time, what peace was there? Congress? During your time, what peace was there? Congress, you want our help in the parliament, and here you attack us. Here you attack. Do not come to us for help, Congress party. She's asking the Congress party not to come for help in the center because they are attacking TMC. I challenge you. I will give you figures. Yesterday was the last day of nomination.
বাংলায় কেন কোন রাজ্যে যেখানে দলীয় পঞ্চায়েত আছে 2,31,000 নমিনেশন ফাইল হয়েছে?
Yesterday 2,31,000 nominations were filed. Those who are saying there are no nominations. In 61,000 booths, 63,000 booths, only 2 booths had problems. And you are shouting for that. Even if family stays together, there are some clashes even within a family. What to talk about so many people? But we have to stay together like a family. Even in the families, there are some quarrels. 2,31,000 nominations have been submitted. TMC has submitted nomination in all opposition parties together. Have all the opposition parties have given 1.5 lakh nomination.
তারপরেও বলছো বাড়িতে ভাত দিয়েছি বলতে ভাতটা খাইয়ে দিয়ে যাও।
If we have given rice, you are saying come and feed us the rice. We have already given you, allowed you to submit nomination, and you are asking for more benefits now. She's asking the opposition party.
Maximum চোর ডাকাত গুন্ডা।
They are thieves, they are goons, They are dacoits.
তাদের বেলায় পস্কো কেসে আইন নেই, গ্রেপ্তার হয় না।
In your case, there is no POXO case. In the wrestler protest, why didn't you give POXO case?
আমি বলেছি করব না, তার কারণ ওদের নাকি ফরেনার ডিক্লেয়ার করতে হবে, বিদেশি ডিক্লেয়ার করতে হবে। আমি মনে করি বাংলার মানুষ
the Muslims have to be declared as foreigners, but we will not do that. We will not let them. We will not allow them to do it.
মুখ্যমন্ত্রী নির্বাচিত হয়, কিসের ভয়?
What is your fear? What do you say, my dear mothers and sisters? Won't you vote for TMC, my dear mothers and sisters? Won't you give vote for TMC?
আমার কন্যাশ্রীরা 18 বছর বয়স হলে ভোট আপনারা দেবেন না? কি আমার
Won't you give us vote when you are 18?
ওবিসির টাকাও বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে, আমি মেধাশ্রী চালু করে দিয়েছি।
My OBC friends, won't you give vote for TMC?
কারখানা হবে,
we have given you so much. We have given you money. We will make new factories.
আমি ওবিসি
we will give jobs.
শুধু ফলতায় কত ইন্ডাস্ট্রি আসছে।
Only in Falta in South 24 Pargana, where she is right now, there are so many industries that is coming up.
গঙ্গাসাগরে একবার
in Gangasagar as well, we are making so much development.
একবার গঙ্গাসাগর বারবার সবাই চলে যান আপনারা।
I will invite everyone to Gangasagar.
আমরা কালী পুজো করি না?
We do Kali Pujo, we do Ganga Pujo, we do Eid.
আমরা মাঝি থানে যাই না?
We go to all types of festivals. We like all religion, even the Tapasri, backward class, minorities, Hindu, Muslim, Tafsili, all religion I love.
বাংলাকে বদনাম করবার জন্য
I'm saying they want to spoil the name of Bengal. They are a third grade party. They are a rioting party. How much is the cost of a gas cylinder now? Ask BJP.
বিনা পয়সার চাল ফুটছে না 1149 টাকায় ফুটছে বিনা পয়সায়।
You are giving 1159 rupees. The cylinder costs are 1159 rupees. How will the poor people buy?
1149 টাকার গ্যাসে ফুটছে।
Free rice is being boiled on a gas cylinder which is 1159 rupees.
100 দিনের কাজে টাকা দেয় না, জেনে রাখুন।
They don't give money for our 100 days work. They don't give money for 100 days work.
রাস্তা তৈরির টাকা দেয় না।
They don't give us money for any project.
রাস্তা আগে তৈরি করেছি কিলোমিটার, এখনো
I have made 1 lakh kilometer road in West Bengal. I will make more.
হচ্ছে কিন্তু খরা খুব বেশি। আমি অলরেডি টাকা দিয়ে দিয়েছি।
There is some problem in water, drinking water, but I have given money for that also.
এবং জলের প্রোগ্রাম চলছে আগামী 1.5 বছরের মধ্যে।
The problem of drinking water will be also solved.
জল পৌঁছে যাবে।
In all the houses there will be drinking water in 1.5 years from now in the villages. In all throughout Bengal. I came here and I saw.
লক্ষ্মীকান্তপুর নামখানা
Near Lokshikantapur and Namkhana.
কে করে দিয়ে গিয়েছিল?
Who did all the development work? The roads.
কে করে দিয়ে গিয়েছিল? একলাখি বালুরঘাট কে করে দিয়ে গিয়েছিল?
She's naming all the roads. Who did all these development work?
এই যে বকখালির উপরে ব্রিজ কে করেছে?
Even in Bokhali we have made bridge. Who made that bridge?
কে করেছে?
Who made all the bridges, the roads, the factories, and you are saying big things? When you are in power, the Communist Party she is talking about, when you are in power, you only wanted to kill people. And now you are saying big things. Today, BJP is sitting on the lap of CPM, and Congress is sitting on the lap of BJP, and BJP is sitting on the lap of Congress. All of them are sitting on each other's lap.
সব ধর্মেরই আছে যে কাল ভাঙড়ে করেছে।
Yesterday in Bhangor, some people created chaos. They are from all religions.
টাকা নিতে হবে, আর আমাকে
They are taking money from BJP.
তাই মানুষের প্রাণ কেড়ে নিয়েছে, লজ্জা করে না?
They are killing people to become leaders, taking money from BJP. They have only one MLA. She's talking about ISF and Naushad Siddiqui. They have only one MLA.
দিতে পারেনি তাদের অর্থনীতি থেকে শুরু করে তাদের রাজনীতি থেকে শুরু করে
No state could give
শুরু করে তাদের
no state could give such money, such development work to the Muslims. And I gave so much to the Muslims. I gave them in the Bakrid. I gave them money during all programs. And what did you do? I do Durga Puja. I do Ganga Sagar. I do observe Mahavir Jayanti. I observe Ram Thakur festival. I observe Anukul Thakur festival. I observe Bhavatarinima Kali festival. I observe Loknath festival. I love Boroma of Motua as well. I love everyone.
রাজবংশী এবং আমাদের আদিবাসী ভাই বোনেরা জয় জয়
Rajbongshi and all the backward class, Santa, me, I love everyone. All religions I love. But some Muslims created problem in Bhangor yesterday.
আজকে আপনারা কত ভালো আছেন,
Today you are in such a good situation. You are healthy.
কখন বিদ্যুৎটা চলে যাবে, কিন্তু সাথে সাথে এটা
You don't have to think about when electricity will go.
জন্মে দেওয়া যায় না, কিন্তু মনে রাখবেন
If one person dies, we cannot give birth to another person.
আমাদের পবিত্র
But
কর্তব্য।
if someone dies, we can stand beside that family.
কোনো ভেদাভেদ নেই, আমি
I don't see difference in anyone.
তারপরে আমার
Till the time I am alive,
কম আছে দেখুন তো,
the next generation will come after me.
আমি সবার নাম বলতে পারলাম
See
না,
the stage.
সময়ের অভাবে।
There are so many new generation faces.
তৃণমূলের যা সম্পদ আছে কোন দলের
The
নেই,
resources that Trinamool Congress, TMC has, no other party has.
আপদ বিদায় করতে হবে।
We have to throw them away from Bengal, all the other parties.
নির্বাচনে
In this contract election,
জামানত বাজেয়াপ্ত করে দিন। আমরা কথা দিচ্ছি 2024
make sure that none of these parties, four parties, get one single vote.
আমরা ভারতবর্ষের চেয়ার থেকে সরাবই।
We will drag down Narendra Modi from the chair of Prime Minister. This is my promise. I take oath that I will dethrone Narendra Modi as Prime Minister. Only Bengal can do this. When we make a promise, we do it.
বলুন মা বোনেরা করেছি কিনা?
Tell me that didn't I do the developmental work? Didn't I do whatever I promised? Say all the ladies.
বলুন মা বোনেরা,
She's asking the ladies that whether she has delivered to her promises.
পাচ্ছেন কি পাচ্ছেন না? 40 লক্ষ ছেলে মেয়েদের সংখ্যালঘু দেওয়া হয়,
40 lakh
হাজার
students are getting money.
মেয়েরা শিক্ষাশ্রী পায়, কেউ টাইবেল
7 lakh students get Shikhasri.
পড়াশোনার জন্য যেন কারোর অসুবিধা না হয়, 10 লাখ
I
টাকা করে
make sure no one is in problem.
কার্ড করে দিয়েছি।
I have given student credit cards.
ভালো করে পড়াশোনা করো,
You can go out and study also.
আমরা তোমাদের গ্যারান্টার,
The state will provide money.
তোমাদের গ্যারান্টার। আমার একটা জিনিস খারাপ লাগে,
I am sad about one thing.
সারাক্ষণ আমাকে তো গালাগালি দিচ্ছে, ছেড়ে দিন।
They are
আমাদের যে পরিবারটা
all the day they are abusing my family.
শিখেছি।
I have always been beaten. My father was a freedom fighter.
তখন আমার 9-10 বছর।
He died when he was very young, when I was 9 or 10. It was a very troublesome journey for my life.
আমি কারো কাছ থেকে 1 পয়সা
But till date, no one can tell me that I have stolen money from anyone.
লক্ষ টাকা মাসে মাইনে পেতে পারি, আমি 1 পয়সা,
I am a chief minister.
বছরে 1 পয়সা নেই।
I can get 1.5 lakh rupees salary, but I don't take that salary.
আমি প্রায় 1 লক্ষ টাকার উপরে পেনশন পাই, দুটো মেয়ে।
I can get 1 lakh rupees pension.
মান্থলি আমি পেতে পারি।
2.5 lakh or 3 lakh rupees I can get monthly, but I don't take that money. I don't take my salary.
আমার কে খাবে?
Because I don't need that money. I'm one single person. Who will eat so much?
আজকে বড় হয়েছে, ভাবুন তো।
And the ones who were very young are now old.
আরে আগে আপনি যখন ছোট ছিলেন, একটা ছোট বাচ্চা,
many people ask how the ones who are very young in your family are now so much rich. But they are doing some job, some business. That is how they are earning. Someone is having a shop. Someone is married. They have their son.
তারা আবার চাকরি বাকরি করছে,
they have some jobs, so that is how they're making money.
থাকে না, ও একটু ক্যাথা সেলাই করতে করতেও, একটু ঝালমুড়ি তৈরি করতে করতেও তার
Even if you sell some snacks on the road, you some earn money.
জীবনটা অধঃপতন হয় না, ওটা উত্তরণ হয়।
Your life becomes better
50 বছর
and
আগে
you
আপনি
get luxury.
আজ তাই আছেন?
50 years back, what you were,
এটা বুঝতে হবে।
this day, are you the same or you are in a better position?
বিয়ে হয়ে গেছে, তারা নিজেদের মতো
Everyone
থাকে।
is married now.
আমার কাছে কেউ কিছু আশা করে না, তার কারণ জানে দিদি যা
No one expects anything from me in my family. They know that I don't earn anything. Even if I get anything, I give for social work.
কাজেই যারা মাঝে মাঝে অসম্মান করে,
whoever is saying that I have stolen money or they are abusing me, whatever they want to say, they are saying.
অভিষেকের নামে
They are talking about my family. They are talking about Abhishek.
চলছে, শব্দ
They are using bad language, foul language.
যোগ চলছে। নরম মাটি কামড়ানো খুব সহজ, তাই না?
Because the soil is soft, it is easy to hit. How much ever humanitarian we are becoming, you are becoming demonic. But TMC is not weak. When TMC was made,
পাছে ছাগল খেয়ে নেয়, পাছে গরু খেয়ে নেয়।
when TMC was made, we had to go through a lot of struggle. But now the party is huge. There are so many people. And now we are stronger. It's not easy to break us.
মাটিকে কামড়াতে পারো, আঁচড়াতে পারো, তুমি লোহাকে পারো।
But you can destroy a soft soil, but you cannot destroy iron. TMC now is now iron, not soft soil. Everyone, every day, the people who are abusing us,
জলতরঙ্গ চলে, তাদের আমি বলি, ওরে
I want to tell them,
ঈশ্বর আল্লাহ তোদের ক্ষমা করুন, তোরা ভালো থাক, তোদের ছেলে
will
মেয়েরা ভালো
forgive you.
থাকুক, আমাকে যত পারিস গালাগালি দিয়ে যা, কিন্তু
You can abuse me as much as you want,
বাংলার বদনাম করলে
but don't spoil the name of Bengal.
সহ্য করতে পারি না, আমার কষ্ট
I cannot stand if someone is spoiling the name of Bengal. I feel sad.
দুটো অঞ্চলে ঘটনা ঘটেছে, আমি নিজে দুঃখিত, আমাদের ছেলেরা মারা গেছে।
When I saw that yesterday our people died and two sections clashed, I was very sad. I am never happy when someone is dead.
তার জন্য বলে দিল সব চলে এসো, ঢাল টাল নিয়ে, তরল নিয়ে। আরে
They asked everyone to come with all swords and sticks.
পার্লামেন্ট ইলেকশনে তো হয় সেন্ট্রাল ফোর্সে,
even in forces come. State elections, central forces come. But then the central forces torture. I will tell the women of Bengal to come in front, and they have to prevent the central forces. All the women need to come out. Mamata Banerjee is asking the women to come out. The men need to ensure that the women are in front. You have utensils in your house. Make sure that you use those utensils. You have utensils for cooking. You can heat that up, and then you can make something and feed them who come to stop you from voting. Do you understand what I am saying? She is insinuating something. You have utensils at your house. I know it's very hot. I have also gone through a lot.
সকাল থেকে কাজ করি শুধু আপনাদের জন্য।
Since the morning I work for all of you. I don't want anything for myself. I have got love from you.
দোয়া পেয়েছি, এইটুকু করবেন।
Till the day I'm alive, I'll work for you.
আরো কাজ করতে পারবো, আরো কাজ করতে পারবো। 2011 সালে বলেছিলাম,
in 2011 I said,
বদল চাই।
I want change. I don't want revenge.
নজরুল গীতি বেজেছিল।
In 2011 I said, when I came to power, dethroning CPM, I said I want change. I don't want revenge.
কিন্তু এবার বলি,
but now I will say,
প্রতিরোধ করবে।
they are saying that they will stop us.
আমি
if you stop us, I will protest.
ঠান্ডা হয় আমার প্রতিবাদ ঝান্ডা হবে, ডান্ডার থেকে
If you are-
ঝান্ডার জোর অনেক 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 বেশি।
If you are stopping us with a stick,
বলে গেলাম,
I will use my flag
তৃণমূল
to
কংগ্রেসকে জেতান,
protest.
না তো লক্ষ্মীর ভান্ডার কে
Make
দেবে
sure
আপনাকে?
that TMC wins the panchayat
স্বাস্থ্যসাথী
election
কে দেবে?
so that you get all the benefits and money that I give you.
কিছু কিছু লোক করে না, তাদের জন্য এবার আমরা নতুন সিস্টেম করছি, আমরা নিজেরা মনিটরিং করব। আমি নিজেও দেখি রাস্তা কে করবে,
Who will make the roads if I am not in power? Who will
আমফান
give
হলে
you money?
আপনাকে রেস্কিউ করে রিলিফ
When there
ক্যাম্পে
is
কে নিয়ে
storm, who
আসবে?
will come to rescue you?
ঈদের শান্তিতে কারা গিয়ে প্রে করবে, রমজান কারা করবে, দুর্গাপুজো কারা করবে, কালী
Who will
পুজো
make
কারা
sure that
করবে,
Durga Puja is
কন্যাশ্রী
happening,
মেয়েরা
that is
কোথায় যাবে,
happening?
শিক্ষাশ্রী ছেলে
Where will
মেয়েরা
the
কোথায়
women
যাবে,
go if we are not in
ঐক্যশ্রী ছেলে
power?
মেয়েরা
Where will the
কোথায়
boys
যাবে,
go if
পেনশন
we are not
হোল্ডাররা
in
কোথায়
power?
যাবে,
Where will the students go if we are not in power? Where will the health program go?
পঞ্চায়েতটা তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস জিতলে
Make
আমাদের
sure
হাত শক্তিশালী
TMC
হবে,
wins
মানে
the
আমাদের জোড়া
panchayat
ফুল।
election and we will become strong.
আমাদের জোড়া ফুল, একই বৃন্তে দুটো কুসুম, হিন্দু মুসলমান, একজন
Make sure you
তার
vote in our symbol, the
আরেকজন
two
তার
flowers.
রবীন্দ্রনাথ এবং নজরুল, বিরসা মুন্ডা থেকে শুরু করে রঘুনাথ মুর্মু থেকে শুরু করে আমি সবাইকে শ্রদ্ধা জানিয়ে আমি
I
আপনাদের এটাই
respect
বলবো,
all the
যতটুকু বাকি
OBC
আছে,
leaders.
আমার ওপর ছেড়ে দিন, আমি করে দেবো। যার যদি
You
কোথাও কিছু না
support me,
পেয়ে থাকে,
rest I will do.
তারা আমাকে
Rest
সরাসরি
leave it on.
জানাবেন, আমি নিজে প্রতি
If
সপ্তাহে
you
দেখে
have
নিই
any problem,
কার কি
you can
প্রয়োজন
tell me.
আছে। জরুরি
I will take care of
করে দিই, অন্যান্য কেসগুলো দেখে নিই, কোনটা কোনটা করা যাবে সেটা আমি দেখে দেবো।
You can
কি
see,
আপনাদের বিশ্বাস আছে তো?
you can support me. You support me in this vote and I'll do the
CPM এর
rest.
আমলে বিনা
Do
পয়সায়
you
চাল
trust me?
খেয়েছেন?
In Communist Party's
কংগ্রেস
time, did you
বিনা
ever get
পয়সায়
free
চাল
rice?
দিয়েছে? বিজেপি
In Congress time, did you ever get
কোভিডের
free
সময়
rice ration?
তারপরে উইথড্র করে নিয়েছে, আর
In
দেয় না।
COVID
কিন্তু
time,
আমরা
BJP
কিন্তু
gave some
দিচ্ছি সবাইকে।
rice and
আমরা
food,
দিচ্ছি
but they later on
সবাইকে।
stopped it. But we are giving
দুটো
everyone
চাল,
free.
একটু
We are
আশ্রয়
giving
আমি
rice,
জানি,
free rice to everyone.
বাংলার বাড়িটা সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্ট টাকা দিচ্ছে না, আমাদের অসুবিধে হচ্ছে। 2024-এ মোদিকে বিদায়
In
দিয়ে
2024,
বাংলার বাড়ি আমি নতুন করে স্কিম
we have
কথা
to
দিচ্ছি, যারা
defeat
আবেদন
Modi.
করেছেন আমরা ভালো করে সেটা দেখে নেব।
And we will make sure that everyone
সব
gets
টাকা
housed
বন্ধ
in
করে দিয়েছে,
in
তা
CM
সত্ত্বেও মানুষের
housing
স্কুলগুলো চালাতে হচ্ছে।
after
সেই জন্য
Modi's
একটু
defeat.
অর্থের
They
অসুবিধা
have
আছে,
stopped all
আমি
money,
আস্তে আস্তে
therefore we
করে
cannot
দেব।
give you
আমি
money.
এটুকু
But
বলে
when he is defeated, I will
মা-বোনেদের বলবো,
do everything.
কি আমার মা লক্ষ্মীরা তৃণমূল
I will ask
কংগ্রেসের
again
পাশে
to the
আছেন
women.
তো?
Are you supporting the
একটু জোরে
TMC?
বলুন।
Can you say it
আপনারাই
louder?
তো সংসার চালান, আপনারাই প্লেন চালান, আপনারাই ট্রেন চালান,
You,
আপনারাই
the
ঘর
women are
চালান,
the ones who
আপনারাই
are running
রান্না
the
করেন,
house.
আপনারাই এগিয়ে যান। কি আমার কন্যাশ্রীর বোনেরা ঠিক আছে তো? কানে
My
কানে এই কথাটি বলে
sister.
বলে দিও, 18 বছর বয়স